I'm Dr. Brian Klaas. I'm a fellow in comparative politics at the London School of Economics in the Department of Government. The Despot's Accomplice is about why the West is aiding and abetting the decline of democracy. The premise of the book is that the expert consensus shows that since 2006, the world has become less democratic each year, and authoritarianism has surged. And so the question is, how can the West do more to reverse the trend and actually make the world more democratic rather than less? I think one of the things that people don't realize is that there's actually a battle being fought in every country around the world between despots and democrats, or in the case of many countries, what I call counterfeit Democrats versus real Democrats. What I mean by that is that there are some countries where the leaders purport to be Democrats, right? They purport to hold elections that are real, they purport to listen to the people, and in reality, they're usually sham elections, and the quality of democracy is extremely low. And that's most of the countries on the planet, right? Because nowadays, in the wake of the Cold War, it's become commonplace to package yourself as a democracy. And the ruling regimes that claim to be of the people, by the people, and for the people are usually none of the above. So the question then becomes, what do you do about these type of countries? And Western foreign policy, in my argument, needs to provide more support to some countries like Tunisia, right, where the Arab Spring has happened and one country has survived with the democratic regime. They need more support. Other countries need much more punishment or coercion from the West to actually have an incentive to democratize. There are so many countries where the West rewards bad behavior, where it sets the bar so unbelievably low that the leadership has no real reason to democratize beyond this bare minimum. And a story comes to mind when I was in Madagascar, where I talked to the head of a political party, and he said, unlike the other parties, we're a party of values. And I asked him, which values? And he said, I forgot the values in the car. Can someone go get the values, please? And this is something where, they're pretending, and it's blatant. But those countries still get all the benefits from the West that they're used to, and so they have really no reason to go beyond that low benchmark. Now, political scientists have looked at this problem. They call it electoral authoritarianism in some places, and it's something that hasn't really been popularized outside of scholarly literature. And that's why I use the term counterfeit democracy. It gets the point across very quickly. It says, look, this claims to be something that it's not, the same way that a counterfeit note of 20 pounds claims to be something that it's not. When you look at the world right now, I think a lot of people in Britain are very upset about seeing things that are happening in Syria or in Ukraine or around the world where all these problems seem far away but are suddenly starting to seem closer to home. And all those problems are linked to the battle between despots and democrats. In Syria, the longtime strongman Assad has now, he's now been engaged in a 5-year-long battle. And the refugees are spilling out across Europe and across the Middle East looking for a better life. But a lot of that came because his regime was brutal and ruthless and was unable to take the concerns of its ordinary citizens seriously. And that's why he's being forced to kill his own citizens, right, in this protracted battle. It's also why there's been a political vacuum that's been taken advantage of by Islamic extremists who have, seen that basically this country is collapsing under the weight of its despotism. Now, some people are saying, well, we should just go back to strongman rule. Maybe we should have Saddam Hussein back in Iraq. I mean, Donald Trump has popularized this viewpoint. But it misses the point. Democracy allows for countries to have push and pull. It allows for countries to take inclusion seriously and to have a safety valve for different viewpoints. And despotism does not do that. It has one viewpoint at the top. And it seems stable, and then it collapses catastrophically. And so my argument is that the West needs to do more because these problems are not far away. They're problems that are going to affect Britons, they're going to affect Americans, Canadians, etc. for the next, the coming decades if we don't take them seriously and give people a voice in their own political systems.